Okay, so good morning, friends. We already discussed what actually is the quadratic equation, and today we are going to solve quadratic equation by utilizing factorization method. Okay, so in previous video, I have already discussed that any polynomial which will be of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So when it is equated to 0, it will no longer be a polynomial, it will be called as equation. So that quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. When it is equated to 0, it will be called as quadratic equation. Why it is called quadratic equation? Because the equation is having highest degree 2. So the power of the variable, highest power, it will be 2. So that's why it is called quadratic equation. Okay. So here, which I told that it is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and a is coefficient of x square, b is coefficient of x, and c is any constant. And one more thing I told that a cannot be equal to 0. A can be any integer. It may be negative number, it may be positive number, but it cannot be 0 if it is a quadratic equation. Okay. B can be of any integer including 0. C also can be any integer including 0. Okay. So any expression we have to convert it in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and then only we can identify whether it is quadratic polynomial, quadratic equation or not. X minus y is equal to 5 is a linear equation in two variables, simple. Okay. Right. So from NCERT book only, from exercise 4.1, and as I have told that it belongs to CBSE 10th standard, and it is 4th chapter. So from question number 1, what actually question number 1 is there? Some expressions are given, algebraic expressions, and we need to say that whether these expressions, what it is given, they are quadratic equation or not. Okay. So we need to almost all one part you can say that it is just like prove that. Okay. But here we need to identify. Some of them will be quadratic equation, some of them will not be. So what I told, if it is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So we need to convert those expressions in the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, and as you see, x square minus 2x is equal to minus 2 into 3 minus x, which is in bracket. So x square minus 2x is equal to, when we are solving, so minus 6 plus 2x, and then further after solving it is becoming x square minus 4x plus 6 is equal to 0, and of course it is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 4, and c is equal to 6. So it is satisfying all the criteria of becoming a quadratic equation. So it is, yes, of course, quadratic equation. So in next question, we will see that some statement type question will be there, where we need to convert those statement type question into quadratic equation. Okay. Right. So let us move to next question. Right. So statement type question I have not brought here, just we'll see later. And here solution of quadratic equation utilizing factorization method is very much important. Okay. Right. So now the equation which is given to us as 2b square plus b minus 528 is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the quadratic equation given to us, and we are asked to find the value of b. So one thing I want to tell you, that as the highest degree of this equation is 2, it will be having two solutions. So all quadratic equations used to have two solutions compulsorily. Okay, there will be two solutions. So always we will get two solutions here. Right. Now how we are going for factorization? So factorization we are going for a quadratic equation. So we are multiplying a and c. A is the coefficient of b square and c is minus 528. We will be multiplying both of them together, and we will get a 2 into minus 528 is equal to minus 1056. Okay. So minus 1056 we have got their multiplication, and this minus 1056 when we are going for prime factorization. Remember, prime factorization when we are going for it, okay, then we are those prime factors, multiplication of those prime factors has to be splitted in such a way that after performing plus or minus operations, we must get here B. Okay, we must get B. So when we have gone for prime factorization of 1056, like you are dividing 1056 by 2, then 528, then again you are dividing 528, then it will become 264. Like this, when you go for prime factorization, at the last you will be getting 3 and 11 also as prime factors. So 33 and minus 32 plus 33 and minus 32 has become after splitting it in such a way that 33b minus 32b we are getting b. Okay, and then when after putting those things, 32b we have kept here because 2 is multiple of 32, so that's why we have taken 32 this side and 33b we have taken another side. And when we have taken 2b as common, so it has become 2b into b minus 16, so 16 to the 32. Okay, similarly plus 33 b minus 16 we are getting, so b minus 16 has become common and 2b plus 33 in bracket and b minus 16. Now as per the rule, as it is equal to 0, 2b plus 33 either it will be equal to 0 or b minus 16 equal to 0 or both of them will be equal to 0. So when we are equating it to 0, 2b plus 33 equal to 0, it is becoming b is equal to minus 33 by 2, one equation, one solution, and another one, b minus 16 is equal to 0, so b is equal to 16 is another solution. Okay, so this is the solution for the question number 2 actually in exercise 4.1 that represent statement type question to quadratic. Okay, so next question is root 2x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so similar type of question is there, and again we are going for factorization method. So here a is root 2 and c is 5 root 2. We are going for multiplication of ac. So root 2 into 5 root 2 is given to us as 5 into 2 is equal to 10. So that 10x square, what we are getting after multiplication, has to be splitted in such a way that we must get 7x in between their operations, either addition or subtraction. So we have to put the sign accordingly. Okay, as per the requirement which is available here. So this is the only you can say application of mind or application of logic here. Okay, otherwise like a parrot we are going for multiplication and then we are going for prime factorization, but that prime factors has to be kept after multiplication in such a way that we must get here 7x. Okay, so that is the main requirement here. You may say that, sir, I want to keep 5x here. Then if you want to keep 5x here first and 2x afterwards, so then also problem will not be there, but you will not be able to take common factors immediately. You have to go for then fraction, it will come as fraction. Okay, so root 2x square plus 2x is taken because root 2 is the multiple of 2, or you can say 2 is the multiple of root 2 plus 5x, and here also 5 is there in 5 root 2, so we can take 5 common, and further we have taken root 2x in bracket x plus root 2 and plus 5, again in bracket x plus root 2 is equal to 0. So what we have seen, x plus root 2 is common, so x plus root 2 has become common, and root 2 x plus 5 another expression will be there. So this is called factorization, what we have already discussed in polynomial. Okay, so when we went for factorization of polynomial, so at that time we solved in this way. Again, as I told that if it is equated to 0, so root 2x plus 5 equal to 0, or x plus 2 root 2 is equal to 0. So root 2x is equal to minus 5 and then x equal to minus 5 by root 2 we have got. And here in from another expression x equal to minus root 2. So we must get what? You can say 2 roots, as I told you that if it is a quadratic equation, so 2 roots are compulsory, and later on we will say that if the two roots are equal and whether the two roots are real numbers or whether the two roots are you can say complex numbers, that we will discuss when we will be discussing uh, discriminant. Okay, so solution of the quadratic equations by using discriminant. So that particular part is necessary at that time, and this is the basic what we have discussed today, solution by factorization method. And I hope my students, they have understood how to solve this type of questions. If they are having any doubt, they may ask me. I have given my mobile number also, I have given my mail ID also, so they can contact me at any time through any mode. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Be safe and take care of yourself. Thank you very much. Okay, so I told that I have not brought any statement type question here, but okay, let us solve one statement type question now. Okay, so in question number 2 in exercise 4.1 only, the first question it is given, which is in the form of a statement, and we need to convert it in the form of quadratic equation. So the question given is the area of a rectangular plot is 528 meters square and the length of the plot in meters is one more than twice its breadth. Okay, and we need to find the length and breadth of the plot. So here we will not be solving actually the quadratic equation. And how to solve this quadratic equation? The same equation I have solved in very first question that you can see. But what actually it is, in that question we got the value of b, two values we have got after factorization, and negative value is not acceptable as breadth cannot be negative. So b is equal to 16 will be acceptable here. So length will become 33 and b will become 16. Okay, right. So now area of this rectangular plot ABCD, which is equal to L into B, as we all are knowing, and we are already given that area is equal to 528 meters square, and L is also given that how it is related to breadth. So L is equal to 2b plus 1. Okay, so 2b plus 1 in bracket and into b in place of L if you are writing, then it will become 2b plus 1 into b is equal to 528, and then it will become 2b square plus b minus 528 is equal to 0, and it is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So that's why it is a quadratic equation. And further, if we are solving it, which we have already solved in previous question, you can see the same question I have taken. Okay, so we will be able to get the value of b from here, and as I told that we will get two values. One value is negative, so in this case we can say that that negative value of b is not acceptable. Positive value only it is acceptable. Okay, and then further L also we will be able to find out. Okay, so right, I hope I have covered the basic concepts of quadratic equation and even how to solve it by factorization method. That also we have already discussed. Okay, so right, thank you very much.